Welcome to Coffee with Leigh
and Mary.
So we wanted to start this channel because we are here in Sedona, Arizona at our store, Inspire Studio in Oak Creek Village, and we do readings among other things. And in those readings there seem to be
Common themes.
Thanks.
Sure.
So, and those common themes that are reoccurring with different people, we thought, well, this is probably part of a mass consciousness thing that other people may be interested in. It may be a good fit, it may not, but we just wanted to put it out there. So one of the first things that we started getting when we started doing readings here back in, I don't know if it was actually in November or if it was January, but of this year, there were multiple people that were here and they didn't know why they were here, and it was like, well, you came here because of this was your home, this was the point of entry when you entered this earth, and you needed to come back home. It's like Sedona was calling people home so that they could bring their purity to, there was a purity being reestablished in the blueprints that were affecting the ley lines. So
almost like the innocence of that first time on earth, the innocence of and the purity and newness of the earth when it first was when it first came into being,
or when people first came into being here. There is something about a reset. Like the original energies are being reset or being reestablished into the from the original blueprint into now. So that was an interesting tidbit, and it could be it could have to do with more than just people coming to Sedona. I mean, it could be people traveling or like don't know why, but gotta go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it really. Well, for me, I was in California for 15 years, and then I ended up here. And I didn't even think that would be a possibility, but
yeah, me neither. Virginia, Florida, and 3 years ago here. It's quite different here than it is on the East Coast, at least just with the scenery. So.
Yeah, and I also wanted to put in that what Leigh and I do. We do traditional psychic readings that are intuitive, but one of the things that we kind of stumbled across is both of us doing readings together. And the only reason we can do this is because we only have one brain. She uses one side of my brain, I use the other side of her brain. So it kind of makes it a very interesting reading. Mm-hmm. So if you're ever in Sedona and you would like to have an Inspire reading, please come by. We'd love to do that reading for you.
And now on from the infomercial.
I didn't mean for it to be an infomercial, but I thought it was good info.
So we also wanted to do a shout out to Jennifer Parker, who created this Psychic Wellness Center here in the village, and she created it 5 or 6 years ago, and she helped create the energy in this space where readings were done, and where people could try to pull out their inner connection with the universe a little bit easier. So she's now moved on from this space, but is still a very talented reader and healer herself. So we wanted to say thank you. And then the other thing that we wanted to talk about was we did a reading for a couple yesterday, and the young girl kept seeing a guru around her, and finally it was like, do you have a guru? What's up with the guru? And she said, no, I don't have a guru, but my mother and father both had family gurus before they got together. And it was really, for some people it might be a no-brainer, but to me it was it was really sweet to see how the power of the guru actually extends out and into the family. The blessings go out over the children, and like there's, I mean, grandchildren. Who knew?
Right, into the generations. It's quite amazing.
It was amazing, and who knows? There's probably somebody out there who's Indian that's like, well, duh. But yeah, that was kind of cool for me to see. And that was through the mother,
right?
Which
and so yes, and so recently going back a little bit, Leigh and I, get information in our readings that are, obviously not just for the person in the room, but for everyone. And the other morning, and sometimes we have personal things as we do our own personal work, I woke up and it was really just kind of having this moment of sadness and boo-hooing, and I realized that I was really missing my mom, who had passed 2 years ago. But there was more of the sadness about it, more of gratitude. It was like I was just feeling such gratitude in my heart for all that she had done, as a mother. And it felt like that gratitude is amazing. And as we have gratitude for our own mothers, that goes into Mother Earth, and it helps to heal her. So no matter where you are in the process with your mom, you absolutely love her, or you're really mad at her, or she gets on your nerves, all of those fabulous things which we have all felt for our mothers. We need to just take some time and feel the gratitude for her, because as we feel the gratitude towards her, whether she's alive or has passed, it heals her. It also heals the Mother Earth, because the Mother Earth is our mother also, and she can feel that gratitude. Another thing that kind of came through was that several people had to take their shoes off and walk on the earth. Well, the mother feels that. She feels our bare feet, and it's almost like hugging her. So the more you can go barefooted on the earth, boy, the more that will help to lessen. It feels like it will help lessen the earth changes. It will help her feel more comfortable in her shift, because as we shift, and this right now, this time in our world is pretty chaotic, she's also feeling that chaos and the pain that we're feeling. So lessening her pain and her suffering would be a really good thing for the earth and for all of us.
Plus, there's energy that comes out of the earth, and if you are outside without shoes on, you're absorbing that energy, and you are more in alignment with Mother energies, Earth energies, Mother Earth energies, all of those things. So it's always a good thing to experience.
Mm-hmm. And it can bring physical healing to your body. If you're feeling pain of any kind, you can lay on the grass, you can lay on the earth, but sit with no shoes on the earth. Those are all just wonderful things to do.
So the last tidbit that came through had to do with the month of April. So about a month ago, it was that old vows of poverty were being dissolved. So in past lives, when different ones have taken vows of poverty, I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch that are categorized in that same
right
kind of like choosing that they're being dissolved, and what came through was Easter.
Yeah, we no longer need to be in poverty to access the divine. We have access to the divine inside of our hearts. So it's really connecting to ourselves and to our hearts, which help to access the divine. Whereas before, it was, you have to go through suffering, you have to give up everything so that you can connect to that part of yourself. Well, part of the part of this chaotic world that we're in right now, there's also the wonderful blessings where we don't have to do that anymore, and we can connect to the divine inside of our own hearts at this time, and it's quite wonderful.
And it's going to be easier and easier to connect to abundance in all its forms. So we thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to chatting with you again.
Yes, thanks for listening.